Good afternoon, America, and welcome to Real Talk with King Arthur and
Kimberly and Neve. Hey.
And we are hanging out with the beautiful
Soulstress. How y'all doing?
Lovely, lovely.
I'm telling you.
So Soulstress, if you guys didn't know, back when I first started singing with James Brown, she was my first original backup singer, and then I said, you know what? She's so great and so talented. I'm just going to let her just blossom. And
you know, I held the background down for you real good now.
Yes.
You know I did.
So we are back. It is another Sunday again, Real Talk. And we are, look at the back. That is beautiful.
That's awesome.
Wow. Ooh.
Really?
Yes.
Come on.
We fancy.
Make a pecan tan lady smile. Listen.
So we are here. And everyone is so excited to hear your story. I tried to chop down the Facebook post, but it was so much information I didn't want to leave out. And you got NBC appearances, and you were singing today before coming on the show.
I have been favored, and I've been blessed. Real talk.
I like that.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
None whatsoever. You know what? Actually, growing up, my father was a pastor. Came up in the church, and I actually liked being in the background. I didn't like singing, and actually, they told me I couldn't sing when I was younger.
Wow.
So it was kind of like that whole I was going to play instruments, and I was going to be good. But just so happened, my dad was like, no, this is the Jackson 5. You're going to do something. Else you're going to come off mine there. So it was kind of like the unofficial family type business, if you will. My father used to play guitar and travel for years. All of my siblings play an instrument or they sing, so it was kind of like I really didn't have a choice. I had to kind of step up, and I wasn't going to be able to just kind of sit back like I really wanted to. But actually, I have really had a amazing journey thus far.
That's good. That's great. So hearing initially, was it kind of like, see, I'm one of those people, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to go do it anyway just to prove you wrong. Was it more like that with you, or you were just like, whatever, instrument, sing, whatever?
I was like, whatever, but it wasn't, really singing more so. I was very comfortable with just chilling.
Right.
Like, I was like, good, great. You don't think I can sing? That's great, because I'm not necessarily trying to be there anyway. But I really, didn't have a choice. It was on me. So like I would get when I would go out somewhere, what do you do? And I'm like, nothing. It's like lies, because you do something. We looking at you, it's something about you. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I would hear people say that, but honestly, it wasn't anything that I saw. And I think that's a good thing, because I think when people actually see themselves sometimes, we can kind of get ahead of time.
Right.
That. And there's a process to everything.
Right.
So because there's a process, I think, especially when it comes to music, just life in general, because music is the one thing that can enter into your body without your permission. You can't, unless God created you deaf, you cannot close your ears. If you're on the elevator and something starts to play, you may not even like it, but by the time you get off, it's like, where did this melody come from? It's a universal. I've been overseas, I've toured internationally, and I've seen people not even understand the words that I'm singing, but the atmosphere, what they felt from the music. You know, so it was like, wow. You know, so the process was interesting, but at the end of the day, it's all great. It's all good.
It reminds me of a quote people use to reference to music. Music is the almanac of your life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Y'all don't use that with me when I try to sing.
Oh, Lord.
They just don't.
I thought you retired, though. See, I'm trying to figure out what's really going on.
I forgot that quick. See there? Yeah,
I'm
I
just
did
kidding, I'm
retire.
I'm
Yep.
kidding.
Then the whole Dream Girls fiasco.
I still
so-
got your background, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to
Just-
hold it down for you.
Ooh,
Listen.
I'm telling you,
I'm
before
trying to
this
tell
interview
you.
is out, I
Listen.
might sing
purchase a
something
ticket.
flat.
Come on.
Very flat. So I know that you're more towards R&B, neo soul type sound, but you also still sing at churches. How is it trying to, or do you find yourself having to explain if you're in a church setting your secular sound or something like that? Because I do remember a time when it was you're either singing at the church or you're singing at the club or performing for the world, but you can't do both. Do you find that you still have to deal with that now, or it's not as bad now?
Well, I'm a little different. My
that.
perception and what I've been given to do is life music. It's something that addresses your life, whether it's relationship, love, breakup, whether it's this thing called love. Because again, at the end of the day, everybody, even if you don't believe in anything, prays to somebody.
Right.
Or they speak, whether it's atmosphere or whatever it is, there's a place that everybody resorts to when they're dealing with something. So to me, when you hear music, you know, I really don't like that people always like to really break up genres, if you
Right.
will,
And put
because
that
of
in
the factor that
categories.
there's a message in everything. You can listen to a song and 5 women be at the red light in the same car, listen to the same song, and they can all identify. You know why? Because it's been a part of life. You know, it's a part of the process. Nothing is ever just going to be how you think it should be. If it were, then you could have fixed your life and everything else along with it. You know, but there's the relation to, you know, relationship in music, no matter where you are, no matter what you sing or what you rap, there's a message in it that speaks to somebody. And a lot of people, though we're different people, we've been through similar situations. So music is just pieces of life coming together as a collective piece of art.
And it sounds good when Arthur sings.
Come on, Arthur.
That's going to be the
E flat.
ongoing theme.
Listen,
I'm going to go Google E flat on the break, and then I'm going to
you going to come back, you going to be ready.
I'm just going to
Listen.
that one note repeatedly.
Thinking about some of the songs that you've written, what were some of your favorites, or at least one of your favorites?
Wow. See, and this is going to sound shady, but it's really not because we're inside and the sun is outside and we don't really need shade. However, actually, I pulled something favorite out of every song because it's a collection of my life experiences, whether it was a lesson, good or bad. You know, it was, you know, so, but I would have to say, man, All Right will probably be my real feel-good song right now. Just because it just speaks to no matter where your relationship is, everything will be all right at the end of the day. What's supposed to be will be, what won't. But everything will still be all right.
Regardless.
You know? Yeah.
I can see your spirit shines through your songs. I see it just sitting next to you.
Wow.
You have a beautiful gift, and I'm so grateful and thankful that you're using your gift to bless people, because just sitting next to you is already a blessing to me. Like,
Wow,
trust the
wow.
process. I'm already feeling that,
Wow.
you know, already feeling, because you're right. People can relate to music.
Right.
They can speak. It's a common language that people can speak to. Doesn't matter country, like you said,
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter,
It does not.
because it's something in every
Right.
song for
Absolutely.
everybody.
Absolutely. It's going to reach you
Yeah, it will.
from one extreme to the next. Whether you mad, whether it take you back to that place of a breakup, or whether it take you to that place where you first met your first love or your last love, if you will.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, yeah.
I like that. She's convincing me more and more that I can really sing. Just
I
by-
E flat. I mean, if I had a keyboard, listen, I hold down the key and be like, "Come on, this is it right here, right here."
Ding, 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 ding. And we'll be ready. So, 4th album now, am I correct?
Ooh, so this is my actual first neo soul
Okay.
R&B album,
The EP?
the EP.
Okay.
But I've actually been writing singing and producing it for years, since like
Wow.
05, 06. I've actually sang it overseas because, you know, if you ever, and I think we as a people should definitely travel and live just a little bit more than what we've been brought up to. But touring overseas, there's a love for our music like no other.
Wow.
And, you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of like what we see here, the appreciation there is just a completely different animal.
Wow.
Like when I say it's completely different, it's completely different, you know. But I think everybody should travel just to kind of see, too, how your music transcends language barriers.
Right.
You know, just to kind of see the impression on somebody's atmosphere that shifts. It's no different than when that song, Everybody Now is on Booed Up, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, so when you hear it come on, whether you got one or not, or whether it's Key, whoever, you know, it's something still that you can relate to.
Right.
It just is. We've all been there. We've all had a life experience that we can relate to the relationship in regards to that music. So, yeah.
Everybody wants men booed up.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Listen,
That was you in that. What was the song?
don't call out that shade.
Oh,
Listen,
no.
I was going to say that's a little shady today. Don't
Got
do it.
agreement. We don't do that.
Yeah,
I'm messing with it.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Listen.
If Kim don't like them, I don't like them. That's how it rolls.
Come on. Listen.
What was that?
The
Miguel
Skywalker
song.
song
Yes.
or something.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love that
Skywalker.
song.
I was like, I never heard that song. By the end of the show, I'm trying to get it on my phone so I
Listen.
can play it while I'm driving.
Yeah. That's
right.
real.
It's a vibe. I think music carries a vibration.
It does.
It creates like a synergy.
It
in the
does.
room with people.
It
Yeah,
does. I'm telling you, it's a music. Mary J. will sing a little something. Listen, she'll put you in that space. You be like, wait a minute. You know, or, you know, even I was listening to, I think, one of Sierra's old cuts today, and I was like, man, it just brought back that moment, make you want to dance. You know what I'm saying? Or no different than, you know, any other artist. When you hear their artistry, it's like, wow, it's an expression of what they feel inwardly, outwardly, and they sharing it with you. So it's kind of really dope.
So in a industry, I mean, a lot of us here, I mean, we know that it's two different extremes. It's two dynamic. Two dynamics. You see the glitz, the glamour, and the performances on stage. So it causes a lot of kids to aspire to want to do that. But we also know that there's a not necessarily a bad side, but that gritty, that look, I'll produce you and I'll make all the money type side, the horror story. So what helps keep you grounded in an industry like that, where it can be extreme highs and like super lows at the same time? How do you keep yourself grounded?
Being able to go through the process. Because at the end of the day, you got to think about it. And this is what I tell artists, and I don't consider myself by any means have made it, but I have definitely been, you know, favored to have the opportunities to go to Asia and to tour Italy and all over the world. But at the same time, the process is still what it is. People automatically think that automatically, boom, I'm here because I got a great song. It don't work like that.
Right.
It's been people now see Beyonce, or they'll see a Drake, or they'll see whoever. It's been years.
Right.
Y'all, a lot of people don't remember, but Beyonce, since elementary school, was training and preparing and in little girl groups and everything else. No different than Jasmine Sullivan. I'm talking about, you know, prior to their teen years.
Right.
Working on this artistry, working on their craft, perfecting. It's a process. It's no different than I'm sitting in this chair. I trusted the simple fact that when I sat on it, it was not going to fall apart.
Right.
Because it had to go through a process to be approved to get to that level where I can sit on it.
Right.
And it be able to withstand. But a lot of people, you know, they take for granted that it's just supposed to happen.
Right.
And it doesn't.
Right.
Everything in life, I tell artists all day, it's a process. You're going to go through some ups and some downs, but it's a part of the finishing product of you at the end of the day. You know, we see the diamonds, we see the gold, but it still has to go through a process.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times people want to skip the process, but it's impossible.
Right.
Because it's just a part of the making of you. And a lot of people fall to the side because absolutely, it's frustrating. You meet somebody, oh, I can produce, I can do this. Everybody's trying again. But I tell people at the end of the day, there's a car, right? But in order for that car to move, you got to have an engine, transmission, tires, brakes, gas. It's a lot of things that makes that car move.
Right.
We just want to get in and be like, move.
Yep.
No, it's everything has to come together. Everybody plays a specific part in helping to be like that rocket booster to help you get to the next place. So you're going to go through some good and some bad, but the thing of it is you got to be consistent in it, if that's really who you are.
Right. I was about to say, if you're being
Because
true
it will
to
try
yourself.
you. Listen, you'll be out there wounded and hurt because you thinking, oh my God, I'm devastated. But you got to trust your craft and your gift and who you are versus who you're thinking you want to be. There's a difference, because you got people out there that just swear up and down that they can whatever. And the reality of it is the difference between those that do and those that don't are the ones that don't.
Right.
And your test will show based upon your consistency and how persistent you are to get to that place that you know you were supposed to be, because can't nobody stop you from getting there.
Right. And for those who are fortunate enough to get that initial hit right off the bat without going through the process and without going through the trials and tribulations, when they hit that hard time, it's like they don't have anything to draw from. They don't have anything to pull from because they weren't really prepared for it. Like you said, they hadn't the thickening of the skin, so to speak, for lack of a better word.
Right. So I'll give you an example. Lakaya had me watching The Four. I have not been watching TV. Listen, I'm an investigation ID channel watcher. No, but seriously, she had me watching it, and this kid came up, and he had this song, and he rapped, and he was like, "I want to challenge you," in the chair. You know, at the end of the day, he went on to the next round, and he tried to challenge someone who had earned that seat.
Oh, wow.
And at the end of the day, the process was not as easy as it looked. It
Right.
felt good, and the energy was good, but what can you produce after that?
Right.
So when it came time for him to challenge the person that he wanted their seat, he could not produce.
Right.
So therefore, it was like, man, that was hot, but that's what we need to know, what was going on after this. Because if you remember back in the day, we had a lot of one-hit wonders.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
And I'm still going to tell you that it's
Stacey
still a
Lavasol.
process. I'm telling you, it's still a process, because even people who, and there's so many people doing music now, it's kind of like you got Instagram famous, Facebook famous,
Right.
Twitter famous, you got, you know,
YouTube.
YouTube famous. So it's kind of like now it's like people, you know, they buying followers too,
Right.
you know, for the numbers and all kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still the process. I'm still going to tell you that even when you got that one hit, you still had to go through a process to get that one hit, even if
Right.
you couldn't follow up. But nowadays, it's kind of like, you know, it's so every other person you bump into on the street is doing music, because it's glamorized and it's presented to where it's so easy.
Right.
And
You
people
can
don't have
do
a
this.
clue, yeah.
Right.
And like, it's like, oh my God, like I hear a lot of, no shade, King Arthur, but a lot of men are like, you produce? I was like, oh, I don't look like I can produce? Well, you know. So I'm in my studio. My sister was laughing because one of the guys came in. He was like, for real? I was like, oh, okay, hold on. I pulled up, you know, Pro Tools and all my little stuff, and I started working. He was like, oh, man, lies. I was like, he was like, wait, who hiding? You got to have somebody. I was like, no. But I learned that I had to do it myself, too.
Right.
You know, because at the end of the day, you know, for me, I feel like it's a day for the independent artist now.
Right.
Because a lot of the things back in the day, as an artist that you really signed up for a label for, is free now.
Exactly.
Advertisement, everything.
Yep.
You know,
Social media is
Yeah,
like-
social. Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But it's still a process, and I tell people, if you really mean it, do it.
I'm still stuck on that word process, and I keep hearing in my mind too. Trust the process.
That's it.
Because a lot of times, my grandma used to say, when you're gonna run into some curves in life, you gotta bend with the curves, and while you're bending, you still gotta keep moving.
That's it.
You know, you don't get
Absolutely.
stuck and stop. And so I like what you say. The difference between doers and not doing. You know, that has a difference as to where you're
Absolutely.
gonna end up with. And I think that's not just that applies to everything
Life.
in life.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
life.
because just as it is, as many people walking around saying they're doing music, it's just as many entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
It's just as, you name it. It's so many people walking around because it's glamorized.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
We were in harmony, but yeah.
right.
See, we're getting there.
We're getting there. At the end of the day, you know, when you get to that, what you see, the end of the road is what you're talking about right here. But one thing I wanted to point out about you, what I definitely do see, is the favor of God upon your life.
Wow.
And when you sat down and you talk about you hurt your arm, take care of your mama, that right there speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. Speaks volumes about who you are and where you stand. So you already a light to a lot of people that's in this business, in this industry. And going through those curves, I know you took God with you. God was with you.
Oh yeah, listen. Oh yeah, you know, and I, like you said, I definitely have been favored. You know, I have to be 100, as the kids say these days, because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. And just to piggyback a little bit on what you said too, in regards to the process, we are realistically a collection of our choices.
Absolutely.
So if you had not have been through something bad,
Yes.
you wouldn't understand the good,
Yep.
nor could you really appreciate it.
Hello.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the choices and a lot of experiences from that process cultivated us into who we really are.
Girl, you about to make me drop this mic.
So what is it? No, but seriously, though, you got to think about it. You got to think about it.
I don't even need to say that now.
But it is. No, absolutely. Pick your mic back up. Come on now, don't do me like that. But in all seriousness, the young guy, and I really don't want to say his name, but the Triple X that passed away, you know, it kind of brought my attention to him because there was a process, and you could hear the change even in his music, you know. And when you look at the choices that people make,
Right.
and you look at the processes that they go through,
I'm writing that.
you begin to see who they really are
Yep.
at the end of the day, because that's all it is. It's a collection of choices.
Woo.
That is definitely. That's a tweetable. That's like a
That's-
mic dropping moment.
that's
That's
a-
like
Not a mic dropping. King Arthur, listen, I'm trying to, no,
Nettle be in the booth like, no, don't drop the mic.
Right.
That is that.
She's writing. She's taking notes. I told you she was gonna have that.
I
journal.
mean,
I want to remember it.
yeah, but it's, you know, again, I mean, when I tell you every opportunity that I get, you know, I get laughed at a little bit because I always try to help people. Because one of the things that I did learn along the way is that a lot of times people become selfish when it comes to extending a hand and say, hey, I can help you get on this stage.
Right.
Or, hey, I can help you get on this TV show. Or, hey, I can help you do this, that, or the third. But a lot of times people are so scared that you're going to get somewhere that, you know, they are or go
Past
further than them.
That's it.
And a lot of times people don't realize that you could never be in a place that I'm supposed to be in.
Exactly.
And I can never be in the place that you're supposed to be in. We can enhance, encourage.
That's
We
it.
can lend a hand to each other. But there's a difference.
There is
Because my music and my, you know, writing and my skill set is going to reach a different people than yours is.
Absolutely.
And we might reach some of the same people, but the point is for us to get the music to the people.
Absolutely. What God has for you is for
For
you.
you.
Listen,
Can't
all
stop
day,
it.
all
They
day
may as
long,
well.
All day.
They can't
all
stop
day
it.
long. Yeah,
And your gift is meant to impact others.
absolutely.
You know, so part of that, God wouldn't give you something if you didn't have a responsibility to
Right.
help somebody else. You know, go
Right.
on the elevator, send it back down,
Right.
or either bring them up with you. You
Right.
know, that's
Right.
your responsibility.
I had to learn, like I said, this process. And when I say I used to have a little money, I lost thousands of dollars because I trusted someone who was, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I paid for a whole project that got stolen from me. But again, it was still a part of the process
Right.
because if I hadn't have lost that, I wouldn't have gained what I have,
Right.
Right.
and I wouldn't have learned how to really
Check it.
understand the
Right.
business.
Right.
It taught me. It hurt.
Right.
It was a growing pain, but it was a enhancement, and it was a part of the process for me to become
Who you are.
who I am.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I like that. Not all losses are bad. It hurt. I'm
No,
agree
that
with
loss
you.
was a gain.
That
Huh?
was definitely a gain.
It's all how you see things.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, your
Absolutely.
perception, and you knew that was that curve. I'm a
Listen,
bend.
absolutely.
Keep going.
Yes,
Yeah.
curves. I've had them.
And you couldn't see it then while you were in it. But if, you know, sometimes I think God will allow us to go through certain trials and tribulations, or will cut certain people away from us, or take certain people away
Right.
from us, because he knows if it was up to us, we'd hold on to it forever.
Absolutely.
We'll keep pouring into him. We'll
Absolutely.
keep believing. And once we go through it, it's easier when you're at the finish line to say, wow, you know, to lose that and to be where I am now, that needed to happen. But when you're actually going through it,
listen,
it's
that's
like,
a different
ooh,
storyline. You'd be like, what?
why God?
Listen,
I know.
I'm telling you. And my sister tell you, Lakaya will tell you as well. We've been places, people, we don't really have the money, but we really trying. And I believe in giving back, whether it's community or whatever it is. I believe in giving back. And we've been places where I've literally been advised not to go and not to sing and not to do. And I still got messed over, have I not? With little of nothing. My sister, and I'm not going to say the name of the festival, but it's a major, major, major festival. And I went and I sang, and those folks was like, oh, well, what happened was, and I'm sitting there like,
Here we go.
What
at the end of the day, a lady ran up to me and she said, and it was odd to me because I was singing Neo Soul. She ran up to me. She left her table at the exhibit hall to tell me how much she was blessed by the song I was singing. I was like, wait, I don't know how to kind of feel about that because I wasn't singing gospel. I was singing a soul, right. But she left her table and shared with me how much, literally, like she was blessed. I was like, okay. So I'm still a believer,
Right.
of that. On the flip side of that, I've been to places where they thought it was going to be a setup for a failure for me, and I still won because I left with a brand new car paid for.
Love.
You know what I'm saying? So it's still, again, a part of the process.
Trusting that process.
That's it. Trusting it. Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So for those viewers who are not familiar with you or are familiar with how to get in touch with you, how to follow you, how can they reach out to you on social media?
Okay, well, I am Soulstress. Instagram, I am Soulstress1 at Instagram. Facebook, I am Soulstress. Twitter, I am Soulstress. All over. Or you can just Google I am Soulstress. This thing called love. We've been really working on those stories, getting people to share their love stories.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, whatever, life story. But yeah, and then of course you can always link up to us via Gmail as well. Okay. I am Soulstress at gmail.com. So we're out there wherever. Let's connect. I always like to hear new artists. I like to share. I like to work with people. I like to collab too, So yeah.
That's good. King Arthur and Soulstress collaboration.
Let's do it. E flat. Come on, you ready?
I'm just going to do one E flat, and then I'm going to let her have the rest of the song.
E flat, and we.
Yep, and I'm out.
And that's it.
And she said she'd buy a ticket.
Hey.
Listen, I mean, you
All
got
you
supporters
take-
already.
I'll sing like the room was full of 10,000.
Listen.
Right there with just Kim.
Buy a ticket. Support my co-host.
Absolutely.
Over here. We support each other.
I know.
Absolutely.
Because I was going to be the first 40-plus-year-old rapper to launch, but they kind of shot that idea now. But I think they're really buying into the singing thing for me, though.
Well, see, the good thing is, is you don't look nowhere near your age. So we ain't going to talk about
Really?
it. We're going to leave that out.
Yes.
We ain't going to say no numbers and stuff.
Okay.
We're
We ain't gonna say
going
no
to leave that out.
Leave that part
You
out.
don't look like, the numbers that are attached to us.
We're not
You know what I'm
cracking
saying?
None of that stuff.
Now I said I'll come. I might not stay to the end.
But you will be in attendance. Our support. See, that's
I'll
the
be
thing.
I'll sing
Yeah.
in the middle then. So at least she's halfway there. She's there through
Oh,
half
Listen.
so
of
both
the
of y'all
show.
together?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, then that's different. I thought it was
See,
just
she's
you.
going to kick it off.
Oh, well, I'll stay for
I'll
her.
come out and hit my E flat, and then she's going to go and close out the show.
Let her go first. Then you come.
Listen.
And I stay for a little bit.
Listen.
Because I got this jumpsuit. It looked like a romper, but it's like a 70s flyaway collar
We gonna leave them
jumpsuit
rumpers back where they belong. Now we ain't gonna
Yeah.
bring them to today.
with some
No.
ankle boots. I'm going to cut the pants
Ankle
out.
boots.
Some ankle boots.
Come
and white
on,
socks, and I'ma
come
cut it.
on.
I can't do it.
Not. Wait a minute. I was with you up until the rumper.
Well, I thought I was supposed to,
King
I'm
Arthur.
trying to bring back the P-Funk era or something.
I mean, rumper.
P-Funk meets Neo Soul meets rap. Or
Honestly,
Listen.
I'll be in attendance by myself.
Be like, how
Just
many
me.
tickets have we sold? One.
But we sold out.
But we sold out.
Yeah.
Listen, we got an audience of one on today, huh?
One and none.
Listen.
Halfway through.
And we'll take all the chairs. We get automatic standing ovations. Nobody can sit
Listen.
down.
You know they got For hand claps
Yep.
and screams and you know.
One no.
Yeah.
They got venues like that now. You gotta stand up the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
She said, "Ooh."
Last one I had though, no real talk. I had the high tops and I had the low tops, and it was some standing room too. But I've kind of felt bad for the people that was standing up the whole time. Cause listen, it ain't nothing. They call them Little Debbie's those shoes. But my sister, like, I can't wear them no more. I used to wear them 6-7 inch heels. My little sister though, she be trying to do a thing. I'm not about that life. Listen, I'm gonna find me a cute. Something comfortable.
A cute flat.
Listen. I'm trying to tell you, no, but yeah, no, not them stand up all night venues. Your toes be in there having a little family reunion and stuff. They be meeting each other,
Everybody walking to the car with heels in their hand.
like right limping.
In there. Why
Like, what happened? I've been standing up all night.
Purposely bring your flip flops in the bag.
Listen, my feet have been on a decline to the bottom of this shoe. Nah.
Been there, done that.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, I ain't about that life no more.
Just like I'm singing and I'm out. Comfortable.
Well, you know, listen, Fantasia, listen, all day long.
Oh, she kicks
Take off them shoes.
She kicks them
That's
off.
when you know it's about to get real.
Exactly.
Bump being uncomfortable. Let me sing to you real quick. Let me let my toes.
We went to, was it Mother's Day? We went to, it was a Jaheim and Fantasia show at the Fox. So it's when I really thought I was doing it big, right? So we had these little front row seats. So Jaheim is a certain person's favorite artist.
We ain't gonna call names.
A certain person.
Certain.
I'm talking
Okay.
about that started out struggling the whole show. I mean, people were walking out. We were ready to leave. And some kind of way, a certain person got called on the stage and got a rose. Oh, my goodness.
wow.
Oh, this is the best concert ever. What?
Listen, huh? Changed everything.
We were about to leave.
Oh, wow.
But when Fantasia came out, you know, she had on her heels and her boots. But when it was time for her to come out, take them off, she had to get one of the stage hands.
Listen, I need some help. Help.
And the rest of the show was no shoes. I'm like, what is she doing? But
Yeah.
absolute best performance.
Yeah, listen, them toes being free will do something
Oh,
completely
yeah,
different when you sing.
It's like everybody. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you who I've seen that I have not seen yet take off her shoes, and that's Mary. That girl ain't listen the
yeah,
whole show. I'm like,
all
ma'am, you
in
got some
heels.
Dr. Shows in the inside of them shoes.
and will change clothes and still have on heels.
Listen,
and still perform.
I mean, straight dance, everything. I was like, all right.
Wow.
She probably got some special
She got
something going on down there.
That ain't the everyday life shoe.
No, especially designed for that.
Yeah.
Must.
So before we get out of here, anything you would like to leave, any parting words you would like to leave, any aspiring artists who can sing, that's the key. You
Who can sing.
Yes, you must be able to sing to, to be valid in this industry. Not that I can, but who's they're interested in getting started. You know, maybe they've hit a couple of brick walls. Maybe they've had someone, you know, they've paid into thinking they're going to do something for them. So they're at that low spot, that lowest point you've ever been with your career.
Okay.
Any words you want to give them or you think that would possibly help them push through and continue on?
Absolutely. First is to understand that it is a process, but you must know that you're called to do this because it is
Not
not
mama
for the
called.
weak. No, not because your family said you can sing, or not because people tell you, but you got to know within yourself
Right.
and understand that it's a process. 1, 2, whatever you do, don't quit. It's going to get tough. It's going to be a process, ups, downs, ins, out. People will mess over your money and play with your music and everything else. But whatever you do, don't allow it to cause you to quit.
I like that. I'm not quitting, Kim.
Don't quit.
I've just been,
Don't quit.
and I can sing.
I'm trying to tell he gonna get this E flat today. I'm trying to tell you now. He gonna let y'all have it. He gonna sing the next show. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to get a track for you.
Yes.
E flat. That's what we're gonna call
We're
it.
going to call it E flat.
That's what we're gonna.
Can I just do E flat the whole song?
I got you. That's the key you're gonna be in. We got you.
E-flat.
Yeah.
Since we all sharing some talents, maybe I can come on and do some open mic, open up with a poem or
Yeah.
something.
Come. Yes.
So
Yeah.
I will no longer be in the audience though. So
It's okay. You just come out the audience.
One ticket.
yeah, one ticket.
We done lost it. It's gonna be an audience of
Get in.
none.
She got to pay to get up there though. To do
No,
open mic.
no. And see, to me, don't get me started. I really don't like that.
It's like
I don't-
Dollar Bill Club. You
I
got to pay
really
to
don't.
get in here.
Can I
then
tell you, I
can
really don't
perform.
like that. I really don't like that because I think it's so unfair to the artist sometimes being young and starting out, and all they need is a chance.
There's a chance to get up
and they
there
got to pay
show
to
you.
get up there, and then the
Yes.
people that they're singing to are not the decision makers.
Exactly. I agree.
You'll do better. Listen, you'll do better getting on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, singing yourself to an audience. Learn your hashtags, do your research, know what time to release
That's it.
Get
That's
whatever
it.
you need to get. Educate yourself on that. But when you have to pay to sing or pay to rap,
Right.
that's money you can invest back into yourself.
Because social media will let you know.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and put it out there.
Listen.
Go on YouTube and go out there and sing your song.
It is not
and
for the
read
weak at heart.
Read the comments. You'll find
It
out if
is-
you can sing real
We
quick.
get hard. I'm trying to tell you, they'll crush your whole feelings.
No, but my mama said no.
Your mama, listen, she had to be nice.
That's my baby. That's my baby. Well, thank
But
you.
you do spoken word for real?
I do. I used to
Okay.
do it a long. Well, I
I got
haven't
you.
done it in a while, so we don't put that out.
No,
there.
you.
Well, I'm
put it
just
out
no.
there now.
You,
It's
it's
too late
if it's
now.
you,
It's
it's
too
you.
late
Listen,
now.
huh? It's you. But okay.
I
Just
used
do
to.
it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I used to do it for. I used to do local like Miss America pageants, and that
Okay.
was my talent, spoken word.
Oh wow. I see that too.
That I could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Hey.
do it. Let's have a pageant. I'll MC. She got the spoken word. You can do it. You can sing whatever you want to sing. Then I got to slide that E flat in there,
Come on.
and then we're gonna reach out to D and see what his schedule looking
Come
like.
on.
You know, so
Come on through.
yeah, we're gonna put this thing together. Then we got to sell the tickets.
Okay. All right. YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, we're gonna put it out there and let the people have the people's choice on what they really
Exactly.
want to do about this music.
They gonna say E flat. We want the 3 degrees, just like that. That'll be me.
You done gave yourself a name.
Listen, he did. Just like that.
Well,
Agree.
thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. You've already had 2 singing engagements earlier today.
Oh yeah, but I'm glad to be here. You guys are amazing. I've definitely had a awesome time today with Real Talk, and I'm definitely going to be supporting and sharing, as well as I encourage the audience to do the same. You know, we need it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have any upcoming events that the people need to know about?
Nothing actually. Well, I do have something with Michael B. White coming up, and then I have the Barner Brothers. I'm in Nashville. It's a
You
stuff.
said nothing.
Yeah, I mean, not well. I was not ready to say nothing here, but I had to
Oh,
think
okay.
about it. July,
Like
the
Nashville?
rest of July is out of town, and then I'm in Massachusetts. I'm old.
Massachusetts, we're going to get you a
Listen.
Falcons jersey to wear there just for me.
You trying to get me hurt? You
Just
trying to
walk
get
in
me
there
hurt?
like you won the Super Bowl. They'll be all right.
Listen.
Don't worry about it.
The shade is real.
They my boys. I still got to support them some kind of way.
Listen,
But this is the year. I said that last year and the year before.
keep
But-
saying it.
is
It
Yeah.
Listen,
I went to Houston all the way saying, this is the year.
Came back saying next year.
Yep. Still had my flag. I was so confused. We had on all Falcons, everything, flags on the window. We still drove back like we won the Super Bowl. We got you. We still believe.
we
Keep
still
hope
believe.
alive.
Keep hope alive.
So again, thank you so much for taking time out, spending it with us.
Absolutely.
And we're going to take a short break, and we will be back with our next guest.
Trust that process.
Oh yeah.
was so amazing. Had me doing things I said I'd never do. You hurt me beyond pain, and I still feel like you're playing games. All because I'm still in love with you. I don't know why I still love you. I can't believe that I still care. I don't know why I still love you. I can't believe that I still care. Ooh. Did you play with my heart when you knew from the start it was only a game? Did you hurt me this way? Did you lie to my face? Am I feeling this way? Don't I know what to do? 'Cause I'm still in love with you. Did you play with my heart when you knew from the start it was only a game? Did you hurt me this way? Did you lie to my face? Am I feeling this way? Don't I know what to do? 'Cause I'm still in love with you. Oh, wait. Can somebody help me, please? Can I control these feelings? 'Cause I really don't want to feel this way. After all, you've done to me. You lied, you cheated. Why? Please tell me why. Wishing we could go back. Wishing we could go back. Go back. Go back. 'Cause I don't want to hurt you. Maybe we should have just been friends. I gotta leave you. 'Cause I don't want to hurt you. Maybe we should have just been friends. Love's not a condition, but instead a decision. Can't press rewind, wishing I can turn back the hands of time. What was I thinking? I crossed that line without blinking. I didn't look both ways. I never thought I'd lose my friend this way. What am I to do? I lost my man and my friend too. I don't know what to do. I'm so lost without you. 'Cause I don't want to love you. Maybe we should have just been friends. I gotta leave you. 'Cause I don't want to hurt you. I miss you so much. Maybe we should have just been friends. You taught me a hurtful lesson, but it was disguised as a blessing. How the loving be true, I never thought I'd end up losing. If I had to do again, I would only choose you as my friend. If I could find you and make things right, I had to disappear out of your life. 'Cause I don't want to hurt you. Maybe we should have just been friends. Just friends. I gotta leave you. Oh no. 'Cause I don't want to hurt you. Maybe we should have just been friends. Wishing we could go back. I'm so wishing we could go back. We could go back. Go back. Go back. I love you enough to walk away. I love you enough to walk away. As much as it breaks my heart, I gotta let her walk away. I love you enough to walk away. I love you enough to walk away. affection spilled for two. A love that we shared till the end of time. I'm amazed to see how your day begins with me, and I'm the only one who can make you smile. You're a beautiful soul, and I want the world to know I love you, you love me, and we could be one of a kind. If they knew what I see in you, it would be alright. You love me, we could be one of a kind. If they knew what I see in you, it would be alright. It's so comforting just to have you here with me. Sometimes the world won't agree, but it's okay. In this one-on-one, the two of us will overcome. I wouldn't want this life any other way. As long as we hold hands, we'll travel forbidden lands, and everything will be just great. We will stay no matter what others may say. It will be okay. I love you, you love me. We could be one of a kind. And if they knew what I see in you, it would be alright. Let me tell you, 'cause I love you, and you love me. We could be one of a kind. And if they knew what I see in you, it would be alright. If they knew what I see in you, and if they knew how much I love you, if they knew what I see in you, if they knew how much I love you, if they If they knew how much I love you, if they knew how much you mean to me, it would be you. crossed that line without blinking. I didn't look both ways. I never thought I'd lose my friend this way. What am I to do? I lost my man and my friend too. I don't know what to do. I'm so lost without you. Maybe we should have just been friends. I gotta leave you, 'cause I don't want to hurt you. I miss you so much. Maybe we should have just been friends. You taught me a hurtful lesson, but it was disguised as a blessing. How to love and be true, I never thought I'd end up losing. If I had to do it all again, I would only choose you as my friend. If I could find you, I'd make things right. I had to disappear out of your life, 'cause I don't want to hurt you. Maybe I should just been friends. Just friends. I gotta leave you. I don't want to hurt you. Maybe we should just been friends. Wishing we could go back. I'm so wishing we could go back. We could go back. Go back. Go back. I love you enough to walk away. I love you enough to walk away. As much as it breaks my heart, I gotta let her walk away. I love you enough to walk away. I love you enough to walk away. Love you enough to walk away. I gotta let her walk away. I gotta leave you. Don't hurt you. Maybe we should have just been friends. No, I said I could go back. Been friends. I never meant to hurt you, babe.
Listen,
This pain that I'm feeling, this pain that I'm feeling, this hole has me empty. 'Cause I don't know what to do with myself without you. I gotta leave you. If I had the chance, I don't want to hurt you. I would just show you as my friend. I gotta leave you. I messed up. I messed and hurt you, baby. Been friends. If I knew back then what I've learned now, just friends, just friends, just friends, just friends. If I could undo the things that I've done, just friends. Ooh.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Real Talk. As Kim fixes her hair, I got mine in a ponytail. My scrunchy thing broke, so I hope it doesn't like get in my eyes. But I am King Arthur. I even put it on my hat because I'm forgetful. And my beautiful co-host on the other side.
I'm Kimberly Anise. Kimberly, doesn't matter what you call me, as long as it ain't crazy.
I was about to say it matters. It matters. Don't put
Amazing.
that out there.
That'll work.
And our next guest. Introduce yourself to the world.
I'm Da Vinci. I'm gonna call my whole last name.
Go on, say it. Say your full name.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, I'm
I
Da
was-
Vinci, R&B singer, neo soul as well. You know, I do a plethora of things. You know, in the music industry. So that's who I am. I'm from Florida, Orlando, Florida. I say Orlando because a lot of y'all don't know Mount Dora. So it's 30 minutes from Orlando. So
Yeah, we have to equate something. You know how we do.
yeah, I got to give y'all a reference.
So, before we get started on the music stuff, is it true that you were born on Christmas Eve, or is that just some nonsense I read on the internet?
That's true, man. It's pretty true.
Christmas Eve. So, I was born December 15th, and I get that, well, this your birthday and your Christmas gift. Do you get the same thing?
Yeah. I do, man.
I can't imagine you not getting that.
What?
Always.
Dreading.
We're going to give you everything tomorrow. No, my birthday today.
No, I need everything right now.
Put 2 tags on one present. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
So, I know you were born in Florida, and then I know you moved to another part of Florida, and then I know you signed with Block Boy. You were in Atlanta. So, what has that journey been like, just on maybe the Florida music scene versus coming to Atlanta and the Atlanta music scene, or was Atlanta mostly to be closer to the label?
Well, the label's in Las Vegas.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So that didn't help.
No, not at all. Florida, man. You know, Florida, the music scene down there it ain't as strong. You know, it's been up here in Atlanta. So, you know, I had to come on up here and you know, really recreate myself as an artist. You know, down there, you know, it's a different thing. You know, it's my hometown, so you know, I'm too late. I was laid back there, so you know, I was used to not doing anything there. So you know, I had to come up here and and feel this hustle stream up here.
Right. I like
Get
that.
with it up here. And the stream flowing pretty heavy up here, so you know, I had to get with it or get left behind.
Right.
How long have you been in the Atlanta area?
I've been here about 8 or 9 months now.
Okay, so
Yeah, I haven't
you
been here that long.
new.
No, I'm doing here, man. They got a tag on me. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
have you found the opportunity since you've been there? You know, Atlanta, they say if you can make it happen, if you can make it happen anywhere, you can make it happen here.
Yeah. I found plenty of opportunity. See the thing about down there in Florida, there's really nobody down there to there's more rappers than anything down there. You know, there's a lot of singers up here, so down there there's nobody really to collab with or do music business with. I came up here, I met my now manager, Sean Wayne. He taking me through some ropes, so it's a good thing.
When did you? Oh, go ahead.
Good.
I was
You
gonna ask
were
him when-
rolling. I was like, knock
I
it
just
out.
wanted to know when he discovered his gift.
Oh, where? Oh,
When
Oh.
and where? It can be both.
I was 17. I was in a couple groups. I was in a couple rap groups, is what I call. I'm the only singer, so
So you had the hooks covered.
Yeah, I had to do it all. They threw a little verse in there. That was it. And I'm doing the harmonizing and everything else. So yeah, so in Florida, I was 17. I had my own little studio in my mother's house, in my room. Little 1990 computer.
How did that go over at mom's house with a studio? Were you just primarily doing beats, or did you have
No,
cats over rapping and singing in the house?
No, I was just doing my own thing. On the side, I was doing my thing on the side. But when I had to go out and do perform or whatever, I was with the group or whatever.
Okay.
Which didn't last long, so I had to get on out of that. So I just went, singing solo. It was the best thing for me, best move for me. Like I say, I grew a lot. Being by myself, So when you got that, everybody with you, everybody got your back. You know what I'm saying? You got your back. So by yourself, man, it was a struggle. How
did your mom or family in general perceive the idea of you leaving Florida to come to Atlanta?
They really didn't want me to do it. They didn't want me to do anything. I first went off to get my CDL. They didn't want me to do that, They're way over there in Utah, so.
Oh yeah,
I know
one of my cousins had to go to Utah. Is that like a center or something?
No, it was I went through CR England.
Yeah, I had one of my cousins, not to switch gears, but he has his CDL and he got it a couple years back, and he's like, yeah, cuz I'm in Utah. Like, for what? On purpose?
Is that where you go to get certified?
Well, that's where he was. I think he was there for like, I know, at least 3-4 weeks, if not longer.
Are you the youngest? Is that you think that's why your family a little more protective?
No, I'm okay. I got 6 sisters, so I'm the
Oh,
oldest
no.
out of all of them. You know, but I'm the only boy, so you know, I guess that's why they.
That may
Right.
be it.
Yeah, yeah,
Only boy, plus the industry too. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know anybody here before moving here? You just said, "Hey, look, this is my career."
I got family here, man. You know.
Okay, good.
That's it. But I didn't know anybody in the industry. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? So I came over here on the dry board. So you know, had to get with it.
That's a good thing, though. Like you mentioned earlier, you know, to be here and to see how fast paced things are, or how fast paced things can be. It's like, oh man, let me get in what I'm doing. I got to get in gear. Let me step my game up. You know, so.
You got to step it up here, man. You know, you get left behind. You know, like I say, Florida, I was too relaxed, man. Florida, you know, it's no thing to my state, but it ain't where it's at.
Well, I have roots in Florida, so I gotta give Florida a little prop.
Yeah, you know, I love Florida. You know, it's for somebody, you know, they got some money. You're gonna be in Florida, you got to have some money on you.
Yeah. So like what you were saying, like my dad's family, they're from Mulberry. Nobody ever heard of Mulberry. But if I say Lakeland, then that's a chance. But then I might have to say Tampa.
Yeah. That's why I said Orlando, because you know a lot of people don't know what Outdoor is.
Like I think I never heard of that,
Where is
baby.
that? Lake County. What is Lake County? Yeah.
What inspires you?
I just like a lot of people like my vocals.
Okay.
So you know that when somebody come around and tell me, "Oh, I love your vocals," you know, it's nice and soft and you know, tenderized and all that. So that gives me the motivation to keep going. You know, and you know, people like smooth music nowadays, especially the older crowd.
Right.
People along y'all age, you know. So I kind of like to bring that good R&B back with smooth vocals.
Right.
You know, y'all had that smooth singers back in the day.
Yep.
That's what I want to do, man.
I like that.
I want to bring it back.
So with you having the in-home studio when you were, you know, playing around at mom's house, have you ever do you do your own beats, or do you play with some of the beats, or you just kind of lead that to somebody else?
Now I do my own beats.
Okay.
For this 4th album, which you know I'm not gonna speak on. You know, it's not. I did cover albums, couple tracks for it, but back then I didn't do my own beats. I just rented beats or whatever. So I did it that way. And like I said, man, I had an old computer, man, and I had a Barbie doll mic. It was
Old computer with a Barbie mic.
It was pink.
Oh, wow.
Going the details about it, so it was about half of it, man. No, I had to do what I had to do, man. You
Right.
know, I wanted to get my music out, man, my voice out, so I sung on anything. Anything. Shoot, if I could have sung on a telephone, I would have did that.
Just to get it out.
I would have did anything to get it out, man. So you know, that was my motive. You know, that was my strong point right there. You know, when that pink mic, man.
That was the kickoff.
Yeah.
So what's the main thing that motivates you to keep pushing? I know you mentioned that, you know, the compliments you get from people like, man, hey, I like your vocals. You know, that's something different. We've been missing that. I know that'll motivate you in itself. But what keeps you pushing? Like if I was a young cat stepping out for the first time and I say, man, if you could give me one piece of advice, what would you tell me?
Well, what keeps me pushing, man, is my son. You know, most of all, you know, if I can't open up doors for myself, I at least want to have some doors open for him. You know, it's hard out here for
That's what's
a
up.
young black man. So you know,
Right.
I got to get some doors open for him.
Right.
So that, you know, that's why I keep moving. You know, R&B, I love R&B, man. You know, that's my thing. I grew up listening to, you know, the Tyrese's and the Joes, you know, and the Keith Sweats, things of that nature. So you know, I still listen to that music nowadays and that old music. So you know, that's what kind of keep me pushing my son, and, you know, what I got going on. So.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Have you had any, have you been exposed to, I guess is a better question. Have you been exposed to any of the pitfalls of the industry where
yeah.
you had to push through? I know Solsters mentioned earlier, you know, she had a situation, but to push through that made her a better person on the back end. If you had any of those situations yourself that you've had to push through, whether especially group situations, you dealing with multiple personalities and everything else.
And listen, man, don't laugh at me. I gave a man $2,000 for an interview and to set up a what was it called? Some at the club.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to do a plethora of things, so get this man $2,000, man. He ran off with it.
Wow.
That broke my heart.
Didn't do anything with didn't set up anything.
Just
Was that
nothing.
here in Atlanta or in
Here in
Florida?
Atlanta.
Since you've been here,
I
that's
told you, man, Florida, you know, it's kind of easy when you get here in Atlanta. You know, you got to know who you're messing with and get on the ball.
Right.
So you got to do your research. My mother, she met the guy. He had his following was crazy on social media.
Uh-huh.
That don't mean anything.
Right. So he got all the likes, got all the followers.
Everything. Plenty of pictures with different artists,
didn't mean a
Didn't
thing.
mean anything.
Wow.
So yeah, that was my renewal right there.
So what do you do now to make sure you kind of protect yourself from that? I know you kind of got to do your research and make sure you know who you're dealing with, but do you have, I mean, I don't even know what you do in that instance. Do you have like legal stuff? Do you deal with contracts now to make sure, I don't even know how outside of having that connection and knowing that, hey, this person's connected to this person and I know they're working with them. How would you prevent something like that from happening now other than, doing a little more research?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you go through your legal situation, your paper and all that.
Right.
Most of all, I'm a very spiritual person, so I tend to go by the way I feel.
Right.
I feel about
Things, so,
situations.
Right.
Yeah.
If I don't feel any type of way, if I feel bad about it, I'm not gonna do it.
So looking back, not to keep peeling the scab off that sword, but looking back on that situation, did you have that feeling where you felt like, God saying, hey, don't do this one, but you like, no, this my break, this my chance.
I had it, but when you got multiple people around,
Sometimes.
Right.
giving out a different energy than
Right.
what you got. You know what I'm saying? You tend to sway towards them a little bit. So,
Right,
I
right.
I say it's my fault though. It's my fault.
But it's still a learning experience
Yes,
in the end, though.
Yeah.
It's growth, and just listening to you speak that, don't lose. What I hear you saying anyway. You didn't lose what you're grounded in the first place. It's just things like that. When that happens, just makes you have to become even more sensitive to the Holy Spirit, become more sensitive to that energy, that vibe, so you can hear it and you can follow. Because you're right. When you got a lot of different people in your ear, sometimes it's hard to hear what you really need to hear because you're hearing a whole lot of other stuff from everybody else.
Yeah.
But that, trust that vibe. Vibe don't lie.
Yeah.
Usually, if you think it's not right, it's usually not right.
Yeah. I'm 28. A lot of things I didn't get to learn down in Florida. When you get here, in a city full of people, you really pick up a lot of wisdom and experience. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
it's in the city, man. The wisdom.
Right.
You gonna deal with people, man. That's gonna teach you a lot. In Florida, the country things kind of laid back.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Plus, I think I would encourage you to definitely don't shy away from it, because that's going to help somebody else. That's somebody you don't know if that was that, you basically took that L, so to speak, and kept pushing.
Yeah.
But, some people don't have the mental wherewithal to push through that. That might be their whole life savings. That might be everything they have, and they dump into that, and somebody run off, and then they're like, whoa, and not be able to recover from that. So, but definitely, keep pushing. You're already pushing through that in spite of that person and that same person. Yeah. Because the music industry, for as many people involved in the industry in Atlanta, the industry is still small. So whether listening parties, whether you performing somewhere at a venue, and if this person had that type of following on social media, you're going to run into them again, and it's going to be like, yeah, you got me for 2, but I'm worth way more than that now, or that person's going to be begging you to work with you. So I say don't shy away from it. It happened, and hey, put it out there and keep it moving.
Yeah. I like to learn, man. I grab wisdom from everything,
Yeah. Just didn't want that expensive lesson. No,
I didn't want that, man.
It's like what?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, bro. I need all that back.
Take some calculated risk.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like if you don't jump, how will you know if the net's gonna follow?
Right.
You gotta step out there.
Right.
You know, I think that's in anything in life, whatever industry, it doesn't matter.
Right.
If you don't take some calculated risk, you'll be in the closet where you've been in the same. You've still been in Florida, would have never moved. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta take
I
those.
tell them that now. You know, if I come out to Florida, you know, it ain't no. I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, you know, but God is a restorer of the season of locusts. You know, what you lost will be restored to you tenfold. So you ain't got to worry about that.
No. One thing I don't stress about, you know, I don't stress about nothing material. I'm not a materialistic person. If I ain't got it, I ain't got it. You know, if I lose my car, 2 legs will work fine. Get up on that bus, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, if I ain't got the money, shoot, I take a walk.
Yeah, well, I think experience gives you a different perspective on life.
Right.
You just see things differently. You know?
Yeah.
And then when I hear you talk about your son, that's a big why. You know,
Right.
Your why. Once you define your why, that how and what, that just comes easy. It's your why that keeps you grounded. That's because I know I have a picture of my son up. Sometimes if I need to get someplace and I don't really want to be there, I put that son right on my dashboard. Let me look at you. This is why I gotta
This
go.
the only reason
I gotta
I'm doing
this. This is my why.
It definitely is. You know, my son is my everything. You know, he ain't asked to be here, so
Right.
Yeah.
I got to make a path for him. You know, so
Right. So
No,
with
no.
no,
Go ahead.
not to cut you off. With the I Am Da Vinci project, what was the motivation or your inspiration behind that album? What made you pick the songs you picked? You know, what type of mood? You know, what type of vibe were you feeling in?
I don't know, man. I was in a hard situation at that time. You know, I was going through a little breakup thing. I couldn't pay rent at the same time.
Some breakup,
So
man.
you know,
Can't pay rent.
man, I was in a hard position, man. You know, I take my falls on. It's whatever.
Right.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like I said, it was a plethora of things. You know, I was going through heartbreaks. Motivation behind that album. I just want to put a good album out. You know, that people could really understand and
Right.
catch on to. So yeah.
So did you find it harder to write during that time, or because of everything going on around you, that was more motivation for you?
Yeah. I take it. I take all that energy, man, and just put it on paper. Honestly, I don't even write. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You just whatever.
I
you
just
feel.
acapella, you know.
Just comes out.
Yeah, it just comes out. I just let it come out. So that's what it is.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
Just thinking about this, and I may have missed it. Like, what if you could tell someone else that may be in your shoes, like tips to avoid that happening to them? What would you say?
As far as the 2000.
Like what would you
Man,
tell?
do your homework. You know, follow your
Choke
gut.
him out. Just choke him out.
Oh, trust me, I want to run. I want to run up over there, man. You know, what was that gonna solve?
Exactly. Like, woo, boy.
Hey,
let's
man.
see. Then the cops gonna get involved.
Yeah,
Man,
I don't
gotta
want to have to do all that. You know.
Yep, I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. What was the question again?
That was it. You answered. Do your homework.
Yeah, we got lost in.
I took him back to that too.
gotta tell you.
He like,
You
wait a
start thinking
minute,
about
I
running
should
up
roll
over there.
over
Man,
there.
I need that right now.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you good.
Bro, you owe me some, you know.
Yeah, man, he still owe me right now. You know,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna never forget about it. Man, that's $2,000, man. You
I
know,
know. Yep, I feel you.
shoot, 500 I need.
That is so true, so true. So, social media. What are your different names? How can people find you out there on all of your social media platforms?
Well, I'll give you my main 2 platforms. My website is DaVinciEllis.com. And my Instagram is the only DaVinci. That's DEVINCI.
Bam! Brandon himself.
So you know that's where you can find me at mostly. I don't too much be on Facebook. My Instagram is connected to my Facebook, so whatever I post on Instagram
It goes to your Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, so and that's it. You know,
Do you have YouTube or?
I'm not too heavy on YouTube.
Okay.
I got kind of a old school spirit. You know, I don't.
Okay.
I'm not. Dial up. I'm not really the. Tell me about it. I'm not really a social media type guy. You know, I do what I do and I get off it, man. You know, I like to really, go out and indulge in the nature. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kayaking and maybe do some mountain climbing or anything, you know, in the nature. So
Oh,
That's
nah,
what's up.
bro. I've been in the Marines 25 years. I ain't going outside on purpose.
Come on.
And nobody would if I ain't got to. I'm like, it's a wrap. But that's cool, though. But do you find that to be a good time, though, when you're in nature and connecting to kind of clear your head and regroup on whether music or whatever?
I love being at peace, man. You know, when you're at peace, when you don't have a lot of things going on, you know, that's when that creative spirit, you know, come on in. You know, you could be real creative, man. You know,
That's true.
think of a lot of things to do. So
That's true.
yeah, you get time to sort out your thoughts. You know, when you're in your bored state, you know, which younger people call it.
Yeah.
So,
He
yeah.
boring. He want to climb that rock. For what?
Some brain research that goes with that. That's a whole nother story. But yeah,
Ain't no-
the
ain't
whole
no wrong with brain,
mindfulness, yeah, goes with that. Mindfulness, your brain, just it can help relieve anxiety, a whole lot of stuff. Just give your mind a chance to be at peace. Nature, all of that. So
Right,
you doing it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's up.
I be trying to, you know.
I guess that's why I can't get no peace.
You ain't going outside.
I got to have some peace.
So, any upcoming projects, any performances? Did you already do Orlando, or do you have an Orlando coming up?
I got Orlando coming up. Yeah, down in Orlando, it's called the Fusion.
Okay, I thought I remember seeing something.
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's gonna be a nice show. They've been advertising like crazy, so
Right.
it got to be nice. So yeah, I'll be down there. I'll be doing 2 songs. The owner of it, her birthday is that week, so
Okay.
I'll be performing to her and whatnot. So
What are the dates for Orlando?
it's on the 26th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some more shows, man. You know, so I really want to do the festival. I like the festival. I want to be outside. I don't want to be in no building.
Right, right.
So-
That's what I was about to ask you. Have you
Yeah.
had an opportunity to be at a venue like a amphitheater type, or do like maybe a Essence Music Festival or something like that?
Yeah, I want to do the last Essence, but you know, I guess ain't that big.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm gonna get there. You know, I already got.
You
it in
just
my
gotta
mind,
show
you know.
up like you're supposed to be there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm Da Vinci. I think I'm going on
Well,
second.
hold on, we don't know you, sir. You're not on the list, sir.
We know sometimes it could just be a season of suddenlies. You can just be that one person,
Yeah,
that one song. You just never know. You know, just stay the course. Keep it going.
Yeah, I
Like
was-
we said earlier, trust that process.
Yep.
Yeah, I was talking to my manager. You know, he was telling me, you know, man, I feel like this year gonna be the year, man. You got it. That great song. It's called "Back at It Again." Got that great, man. It got a great vibe to it. It's like a old school / new school. So you know, he think it's gonna take off, and I feel it too. You know, so when you got 2 people with that same energy, you know,
Right.
something bound to happen.
What's the name of that song?
It's called "Back at It Again."
Back at it again.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The whole album is called "I Am Da Vinci."
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You can catch it on iTunes.
Bang. That's why
Amazon.
I saw it at iTunes.
Yeah.
About to do that.
All the major platforms, you know, it's on there. Yeah.
So we got that. We know we got Orlando coming up. Any parting words that you would necessarily have? And it doesn't necessarily have to be for anybody aspiring to be in the music industry. But anything you want the viewing audience to know about you.
I'm an R&B singer, first and foremost.
It's me.
I try to keep my, you know, a low profile of myself.
Right.
You know, and instill my artistry out, you know, so I don't want to put too much of myself out. But that's pretty much it, man.
So you
That's where I want
said,
to put it.
and I forgot to ask Songstress this. But you say you try to keep a low profile of yourself. Would you consider doing reality TV?
No,
But if they had real R&B singers of Atlanta,
no, I wouldn't do it.
you wouldn't let the camera crew follow you around.
I like to say genuine, man. I don't like to, you know.
Yeah.
I know the music industry kind of fake, you know. So
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
to. I like to
You
say
see
genuine to myself.
Some craziness on that.
Yeah, yeah. Like you say early, you know, the fake followers and things like that, man. You got to. I like to say genuine.
Yeah, you got to shake them
Yeah.
off, and that way you keep your core group of people tight.
Now I know I didn't write it down, but it's etched in my mind because you spoke to my spirit when you said making sure you feeling that energy, that vibe. That I rock with that. I believe in that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I also, I think anything is possible when you really, one, you got to know God. You got to trust him. Got to believe in that. But then when you know your why, that will get you up in the morning when you don't want to get up.
Yeah.
You know, to get you, make your feet hit the ground. You know, you really got to think about that. You know, and then knowing that where you're headed, you know, you can start, but where you headed, it's gonna be even greater than where you came from. I believe that.
I feel I'm already there. To be honest with you, you know, I just feel it. You got that feeling, man. You already there. You know, you already got you know, the abundance of money. You know, I ain't tripping. You know,
Right.
I said 2,000, man. You know, that's fine. You know, I feel like I'm rich inside, man.
Right.
That's right.
With $20, I'm good.
It's like,
You
woohoo!
know what it is, so, you know, I like to experience things more, so I rather, you know, be out doing a show. I do a show for free, you know, just to make everybody feel good, have everybody feel good, you know, with vocals and with music, stuff like that. So, you know, I'm just that type of person, man.
Right.
I'm real spiritual, man.
I like that. I like that.
Me too. You've been a blessing to us. Thank you.
Yeah, y'all are blessing me. I appreciate it.
And thank
You're
you.
more than
Thanks
welcome.
for coming out, hanging out with us today.
All right.
I've got to work on this E flat on this break because I'm bringing it home. I'm telling you on the wrap up,
Bring it
I'm
on
bringing
in,
it
bring it on
home.
in.
Just
Let me rethink my open mic piece. I don't know if I want to be connected.
yeah, that's how we could close the show. You could do an open mic.
No, I want to go first. So I
That's
can
what I'm saying.
go
I'm gonna let
home.
you go first. I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna do the curtain closing.
Oh my.
That's what you gonna say. If I start singing,
wanna be able to-
it's gonna definitely be an oh my
Yeah.
moment.
Okay.
But again, thanks so much for coming out, man. We know you guys have a lot of moving parts, and you getting ready for Orlando and getting ready to roll out for that, and make that happen. And again, just thanks for coming out and joining us here on Real Talk.
Definitely.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate
right.
y'all.
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
That E flat coming. I'm cleared.
If you want to know who I am, I am. A nigga like me duck off on a low C. I might be riding by, but you don't know these. In the club, that fresh, and you know it is. Smoking blow by myself in luxury. Count cash in my crib in luxury. Or around the town with my jig, spending money. See, you should come and get to know me, 'cause you can have all of this. Ooh, yeah. Then come and see about me. Come and see about me. Your friends about me. None of them, they don't know about me. Oh, they don't know. You wanna know about me? Then come and see about me. Girl, I'm right. Don't be asking your friends about me. Don't ask nobody. They don't know about me.
Epic, yeah. Lay back, come roll with me. I'm sorry, baby, they don't even know Epic. You holding that, baby, and it's so selfish. 100 men been there, that is no better. I'm loving your body and soul left foot. Don't worry about them, 'cause they so desperate. Telling you lies, but the boy Epic. Yeah. So let's ride and get out of here. You in love with the boy and I'm proud of it. Wanna love me, they know me, but honestly, if you don't know by now, I'm sorry you never will. Don't ask your girls by me, 'cause they
Ain't finished, come here. I make mistakes, but I correct. But you judge me almost every day. It feel like things won't ever change. Check it, I go out my way to